To access free topic sheets, worksheets, or to book an online class, visit ilearneasy.co.uk. In this video, we will learn about the solar system. The solar system is made up of many things, such as the sun, the moon, planets, comets, dwarf planets, and asteroids. There are 8 planets in the solar system. The sun is a star, not a planet. It's at the center of the solar system. The sun gives heat and light to all the planets. The planets are always in the same order from the sun: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. An easy way to remember the order of the planets is my very easy method just speeds up naming. My is for Mercury, V is for Venus, E is for Earth, M is for Mars, J is for Jupiter, S is for Saturn, U is for Uranus, and N is for Neptune. The sun is much bigger than the planets and has a greater gravitational pull, so they can all move around the sun in an elliptical path. All the planets take different amounts of time to orbit the sun. For example, the Earth takes approximately 365 days to orbit the sun fully. Planets further from the sun will take longer to orbit. The moon is not a planet. Rather, it's a small celestial body. This means a natural body of rock. The Earth's gravity keeps the moon in orbit. The moon takes approximately 28 days to orbit the Earth. Although the moon looks bright, it doesn't actually produce light. It just reflects the light from the sun. The moon is spherical. However, when it's in different positions around the Earth, it looks like it's different shapes. The reason for this is because the moon orbits the Earth. The sun's rays illuminate the different parts of the moon. The Earth is a planet that orbits the sun. This is like all the other planets. While the Earth orbits the sun, it also rotates around an imaginary line between the north and south poles called an axis. It takes around 24 hours for the Earth to make a full turn on its axis. As the Earth rotates, the side facing the sun receives warmth and light. This is the daytime. The side facing away from the sun will be cooler and darker. This is the nighttime. The amount of time a place spends in the light and the dark usually changes throughout the year. Generally, daytimes are longer in the summer and shorter in the winter. The axis of the Earth is not vertical. It's slightly tilted. This impacts the seasons and the amount of daylight. As the Earth is continually rotating, the sun appears to move across the sky. However, the sun is actually stationary. At sunrise, some parts of the Earth are rotating towards the sun. This makes it look like the sun is rising into the sky. At midday, the sun is at the highest point in the sky. At sunset, the same parts of the Earth are rotating away from the sun. The sun appears to be going down. Our solar system consists of the sun, the 8 planets, asteroids, and comets. There are 8 planets in our solar system: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. An easy way to remember this is my very easy method just speeds up naming. M is for Mercury, V is for Venus, E is for Earth, M is for Mars, J is for Jupiter, S is for Saturn, U is for Uranus, and N is for Neptune. All the planets orbit the Sun. This just means they all go around the Sun. They do this at different speeds. All the planets have different features. 4 of the planets have hard rocky surfaces. These include Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. And the other 4 planets are referred to as gas giants, or giant planets. This is because they're mostly composed of the gases helium and hydrogen. So instead of having a solid hard surface, they have swirling gas above its solid core. These planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun and the Earth. It's the smallest and fastest planet in our solar system. The temperature of this planet are both very hot and cold. It becomes very hot during the day as it's so close to the Sun, and at night the temperature becomes very cold. This planet doesn't have an atmosphere or any water. It also doesn't have any moons. Venus. Venus is the second planet from the Sun, and it's nearly as big as Earth. It's the hottest planet in the solar system. Venus is the brightest planet. It's the second brightest object in the sky after the Moon. Light reflects off the surface of Venus due to yellow clouds that cover the entire planet. These yellow clouds are made up of sulfur and sulfuric acid. Venus doesn't have any moons. Earth. Earth is the planet which we live on. This is the third planet from the Sun. It's the 5th largest planet in our solar system. It takes 365 days for the Earth to travel all around the Sun. This is the only known planet where life exists. Earth's surface is covered with 70% water. This planet has one moon. This moon is the brightest and the most visible in the night sky. Mars. Mars is the 4th planet from the Sun. This planet is also called the red planet. This is because the iron minerals in the soil oxidize or rust, which causes the soil and the atmosphere to appear red. Mars is a very cold and dry planet, but there is ice at the poles. Although there are no living things on Mars, scientists are still looking for signs of life that may have existed long ago when Mars was warmer and covered with water. There are many volcanoes, deep valleys, and many craters on Mars. This planet has 2 moons. Jupiter. Jupiter is the 5th planet from the Sun. It's the largest planet in our solar system. Jupiter is more than 2 times bigger than all other planets combined, so it's gigantic. Jupiter is a gas giant. Like all other gas giants in our solar system, Jupiter has rings encircling it. These are thin, faint rings. Jupiter's notable feature is the Great Red Spot. This is an enormous storm that has been persistent over many hundreds of years. This planet has 95 moons, one of which is the largest moon of all planets. Saturn. Saturn is the 6th planet from the Sun. It's the 2nd largest planet in our solar system. Saturn is also a gas giant. Saturn is known for its encircling rings. Although other gas giant planets also have rings, the rings encircling Saturn are the biggest and the most visible. This planet has 146 moons in its orbit, one of which is the second largest moon in the solar system. Uranus. Uranus is the seventh planet from the Sun. It's the fourth largest planet. Uranus is a gas giant. As it's a gas giant, Uranus also has faint rings encircling it. This planet is also known as the blue planet. This is due to the methane gas in the atmosphere. Methane gas absorbs the red portion of sunlight that passes through the atmosphere, resulting in a blue color. Uranus is unique in the way it spins on its side. It's the only planet that spins in this manner. Its seasons are different from those on Earth due to the way it spins. Uranus is referred to as an ice giant. This is because it's very cold. It also contains atmospheric water and other ice-forming molecules. This planet has 28 moons. Neptune. Neptune is the furthest planet from the Sun. This planet is made up of dense gas and is 17 times as big as the Earth. It's also a blue color, similar to Uranus. Again, this is due to the methane gas in the atmosphere. Methane gas absorbs the red portion of the sunlight that passes through the atmosphere, resulting in this blue-green color. Neptune is a gas giant. As it's a gas giant, Neptune also has rings encircling it. Like Uranus, Neptune is referred to as an ice giant, as it's very cold and it contains atmospheric water and other ice-forming molecules. Neptune is a planet of heavy winds and storms. It has giant swirling storms like that of Jupiter. One of these storms is known as the Great Dark Spot. This fierce storm was found to be the strongest and fastest in our solar system, but it didn't last as long as the Great Red Spot on Jupiter. Since then, many other storms have also been found on Neptune. Neptune has 16 moons. Mercury. Venus. Earth. Mars. Jupiter. Saturn. Uranus. Neptune. Gas giants. A gas giant is a type of planet that is mostly composed of helium and hydrogen. So instead of having a hard solid surface, it has swirling gases above its solid core. The gas giants in our solar system are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. All gas giants have a system of rings surrounding them. The most visible are those around Saturn. Jupiter. Jupiter is the fifth planet from the Sun. It's the largest planet in our solar system. Jupiter is more than 2 times bigger than all other planets combined, so it's gigantic. It's made up of a thick layer of gas. Like all other gas giants in the solar system, Jupiter has rings encircling it. These are thin, faint rings. Jupiter is a very stormy planet. Its notable feature is the Great Red Spot. This is an enormous storm which has been persistent for over many hundreds of years. This planet has 95 moons, one of which is the largest moon of all planets. Saturn. Saturn is the 6th planet from the Sun. It's the second largest planet in our solar system and is made of gas. Saturn is known for its encircling rings. Although other gas giants also have rings, the rings encircling Saturn are the biggest and most visible. This planet has 146 moons in its orbit. One of them is the second largest moon in the solar system. Uranus. Uranus is the 7th planet from the Sun. It's the 4th largest planet. This planet is also known as the blue planet. This is due to the methane gas in the atmosphere. Methane gas absorbs the red portion of the sunlight that passes through the atmosphere, resulting in a blue color. Uranus is unique because of the way it spins on its side. It's the only planet that spins in this manner. Due to the way it orbits on its side, its seasons are different from those on Earth. Uranus is referred to as an ice giant, as it's very cold. It also contains atmospheric water and other ice-forming molecules. As it's a gas giant, Uranus also has faint rings encircling it. This planet has 28 moons. Neptune. Neptune is the furthest planet from the Sun. This planet is made of dense gas and is 17 times as big as the Earth. It's also a blue color, similar to Uranus. This is due to the methane gas in the atmosphere. Methane gas absorbs the red portion of the sunlight that passes through the atmosphere, resulting in a blue color. Like Uranus, Neptune is referred to as an ice giant, as it's very cold. It also contains atmospheric water and other ice-forming molecules. Neptune is a planet of heavy winds and storms. It has giant swirling storms like that of Jupiter. One of these storms is known as the Great Dark Spot. This fierce storm was found to be the strongest and the fastest in our solar system, but it didn't last as long as the Great Red Spot on Jupiter. Other storms have also been found on Neptune after this. As it's a gas giant, Neptune has rings encircling it. This planet has 16 moons. Ice giants. Uranus and Neptune are known as ice giants. They're known as ice giants because they are giant planets that are normally composed of elements heavier than hydrogen and helium, such as oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, and sulfur. Uranus and Neptune are smaller in size than Jupiter and Saturn, and they have higher densities. Ice giants contain more ice and rock than gas giants. Ice giants don't have a solid surface, as the surface consists primarily of gases and liquids. Beneath the thin outer surface layer, these planets' mantles consist of compressed ices, like water, ammonia, and methane. These make up a significant portion of their total mass. The ices refer to volatile elements with boiling points above 100 Kelvin. Water, ammonia, and methane all freeze above this temperature. Although both Uranus and Neptune have lower temperatures, the interiors of both planets are very hot due to the high pressure and heat in their cores. So, unlike gas giants, ice giants' rocky, icy cores are proportionally larger than the amount of gas they contain. This is why Uranus and Neptune are referred to as ice giants. Here are 15 facts that you need to know about the Sun. The Sun is a star. It's a huge ball of hot gas that gives off light and heat. The Sun is the largest object in our solar system. The Sun is only one of more than 200 billion stars in the Milky Way. The Sun is made up of the gases hydrogen and helium and is held together by its own gravity. The Sun is 4.5 billion years old. The Sun is 93 million miles from the Earth. The Sun is 5,505 Celsius, so it's extremely hot. The hottest part of the Sun is its core. The light from the Sun only takes 8 minutes to travel to the Earth. There are 8 planets that orbit around the Sun. The Sun doesn't have any moons as it's a star, but the other planets and their moons orbit the Sun. The Sun constantly orbits around the Milky Way, so it never stays in one place. Sunspots are dark spots on the Sun's surface that are cooler than their surroundings. A solar eclipse is where the Sun disappears during the day when the Moon comes between the Earth and the Sun. Without the Sun, there would be no life on Earth. This is because both plants and animals need sunlight. Plants need sunlight to create food, and it would be too cold for animals to survive without the Sun. Here are 25 facts that you need to know about the solar system. The universe has at least 100 billion galaxies. The Milky Way is the galaxy that we live in. Everything in the solar system revolves around the Sun. It's at the center of our solar system. The Sun is a star. It's a huge ball of gas that gives off light and heat. There are 8 planets that orbit around the Sun. All the planets are round due to the planets' gravities pulling equally from all sides. The closest planet to the Sun is Mercury. The furthest planet from the Sun is Neptune. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system. The Earth is the only known planet that has creatures living on it. Gravity is the force which keeps planets in orbit around the Sun. Gravity is the force which keeps you on the ground. The Earth rotates on its axis as it orbits the Sun. It takes 1 day for the Earth to complete a rotation. This is equivalent to 24 hours. It takes 365 days for the Earth to orbit the Sun. 365 days is equivalent to a year. The Earth is always spinning. During the daytime, it is light, and we can see the Sun as the Earth is facing towards the Sun. During the nighttime, it's dark, as the Earth is facing away from the Sun. Every planet is different. Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are rocky planets. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are gas giants. They're made of gases, helium, and hydrogen. The hottest planet is Venus, where the average temperature is 460 degrees. The coldest planet is Uranus, which is about minus 220 degrees. Mars is known as the red planet because the iron minerals in the soil oxidize or rust, which causes the soil and the atmosphere to appear red. The Great Red Spot is an enormous storm on Jupiter, which has been blowing for over many hundreds of years. The Great Dark Spot was a fierce storm found on Neptune. It was one of the strongest and fastest storms found in our solar system, but it didn't last as long as the Great Red Spot on Jupiter. Other storms were also found on Neptune after this. The Moon orbits around the Earth. It takes 28 days to complete one orbit. Saturn has the most moons. It has 146 moons.